I was a huge film fan growing up. I actually at one point thought I was going to be a director, but my parents used to tell me if I went into the film business, they'd disown me. They used to say, you can do anything you want except go in the film business. And I grew up in a pretty conservative Jewish family, so the film business was the mortal enemy. In college, I actually was a film student at UCSB for quite a while, and thought I was going to direct, for about a year and a half. And 2 years, I explored that, made a bunch of short films.
Really? Well, no, wait, where can we see these short films?
Nowhere. I've made sure of that.
You will buy YouTube to prevent them.
I will literally buy YouTube to prevent them from coming out.
What's a Relativity movie? I mean, have you had to pass on certain movies because you personally love them, but they weren't right for the brand?
Sure. There's a number of philosophies that we have that make us different from other studios. I think first and foremost is that we don't call ourselves a studio. We call ourselves a content engine. So we don't see a differential between television, film, short-form video, long-form video, video gaming, music video. We think it's all consumer content and consumer-driven content that they want to watch and interact with. And our films, we target 20 to 60 in box office. We don't actually, if you look at our projections, and every year we're making more and more movies, so this year we'll put out 12, next year we'll put out 15, the year after 20, last year we did 9. Our focus is hitting that 20 to $60 million box office mark. And we're very happy playing in that range. And it's a range that we are very good at. We collect as well as the majors. We hold screens really well, and we really focus on how do we have all our movies play in that range. And then ultimately what that does for us is we're the #1 performing studio in home video, we're the #1 performing studio in digital and ancillary windows, and we end up making a very nice profit on all of our movies, or at least 85%. And no, we don't have that movie that's going to go make us $200 million of profit, but we have consistency so that overall we end up with a very similar result, but we don't have any wild vacillations.
And you recently announced Madvine
Yes.
at our own technology summit. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So traditionally, the movie business and brands have worked together, but in a very broken way. Maybe you have an actor and you say, here's a Coke, hold it in the movie for a second. And there's just no real value. And those are the only two propositions a brand has had in the past. So for us, because we control our own movies and we're the only studio that produces in-house, meaning we don't have third-party production deals. We control and make 35 series on the air. We have 400 athletes in our agency. We're one of the larger fashion agencies, music, so on and so forth, digital. We can offer a brand really a 360-degree offering into content that is really all about their core audience. So, take the Coke example, you can now say to Coke, okay, well, we can actually embed you in the storyline of our movies, into 35 series, into our digital content, have you with the top athletes in the world, have you working with the top fashion brands in the world, so on and so forth, in a one-stop shop. And more, that's the only way these brands are really going to reach consumers, because obviously consumers interface with this content and they can't fast forward through a scene. So as long as you make it viral and interactive and truly original, all of a sudden brands get a nice exposure. And obviously, I think with you guys, we announced that we have a deal with Mondelez. We announced our deal with, we're actually Evian's agency of record. We announced our deal with Pathway Genomics, which is a leading genetic testing company that'll be going public soon. And then we have a couple others we'll be announcing with you guys in Cannes, I think that'll be pretty exciting. So basically we take an exclusive partner for each category, and that partner becomes really our content partner for their category. So in the case of Evian, it's not that like every single scene we do will have an Evian water. That's just not going to help Evian and not going to be good for our movies or television or athletes. But instead, Evian's in the room when we're writing the script. They're in the room when we're greenlighting a movie or a series. They're there working with our athletes. So we won't work with any other water company, and they will be involved in everything from all of our red carpets to content that makes sense for them.
Broad question, but what are you most excited about for your future plans?
Well, Madvine is such a huge launch for us, and has been going gangbusters, and we'll be introducing and announcing some really big things with Madvine over the next couple months. I'm really excited about our digital launch, meaning we have already have our digital properties, but this year we're actually launching a large digital studio, and we'll be announcing some acquisition around that, which is exciting. From an overall perspective, I'm really excited this year. Sports is going into soccer, so that's a pretty big deal for us. And I'm also really excited about China. Actually, at our event, we'll have there. We just confirmed our partner in China, as well as Mr. Gu, who runs the Washaw Film Group and is now being appointed to be the chairman of the main film arm of the Chinese government. Last year we successfully put out 3 movies, and we know we're the only studio to have a Chinese distribution license. So it's exciting that we get to distribute on the ground, on our own. We've proven the model out. This year we already have 4 movies set for release, and we'll have a bunch of assisted productions and co-productions. And I think we'll in the next couple of months we'll have some very big news about kind of deepening our relationship with the Chinese government and the Chinese film industry. And then we're gearing up for an IPO. So, I don't know if that'll be, 18 months or 24 months or 36 months, but we're really excited about that. I look back and I look where we are today, and it's like, wow. I mean, if someone said we'd be able to pull this off from scratch. I mean, I had negative $500 in the bank, and I drilled a hole in the wall to steal my neighbor's internet so I could have an internet connection at night, because I couldn't afford it. So to be able to, to look forward and see this, both from a corporate perspective and also from a personal perspective, is really cool. But I think we have so much more that we want to do, and it's like growth is exponential right now. I think the industry and technology and media is just speeding up and speeding up and speeding up, and so we have so much we want to do, and there's only finite resources. So we've got a lot more left in us. This is just the beginning.
I think you should send your old neighbor a check.
I think I should.
If you can track him down.
I think I should for sure. Let's see, since we started the company, I mean, I was told originally to my face, now it's kind of behind the scenes, but, oh, this is never going to work. It was, they're not going to be around in a month. I mean, hearing that for 10 years, literally since the beginning. Their movies don't make money. Well, that's pretty obvious. We now are pretty, our numbers are out there in a pretty big way, so people know that's not true. They can't say that anymore. We don't really talk about the naysayers anymore. What I mean by that is, when you're doing something that's innovative, you're going to have naysayers, because it's never been done before and it's never been thought about before, and it challenges the status quo. So if you don't have naysayers, and this is what we talk about all the time, then we should be worried, because then we're not actually doing anything original or different. So I kind of encourage the naysayers, and please keep naysaying, because that means we're actually continuing to challenge the status quo, which threatens small minds.